Welcome to Milestone Moments, the show where we explore the journeys that lead to success. I'm Sheila Slick, your host and founder of 5 Milestones. In every episode, we will bring you insights from the minds of entrepreneurs, leaders, and experts who will share not just their expertise, but the milestone moments that have reshaped their journeys and led to significant achievements. So if you're looking for motivation, you're in the right place. Subscribe now and discover the milestones that mark the path to success. Welcome to another episode of Milestone Moments in Business and Leadership. I'm Sheila Slick, your host. And today, my special guest is Allison Bohen. Allison is a real estate investor and life coach based in Tennessee. She is dedicated to empowering women in the real estate investing sector through mentorship and encouragement. Allison Bohen is a positive intelligence coach who helps people unlock their potential by mastering the mental habits that lead to greater clarity, focus, and success. Her journey from corporate to positive intelligence expert has equipped her with unique insights into navigating challenges and achieve meaningful growth. Welcome to the show, Allison.
Thanks for having me, Sheila. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to share your story today. And I love what you're doing with Get Focused Accountability. So before we dig into that, I'd love to know a little bit more about you. How did you get to doing what you do today?
Well, my love of learning has always defined my life, and I have a drive to know more, do more, and be more. And as all of us face challenges in our lives, sometimes that can be the thing that carries us through those difficult times. So I moved to Tennessee and absolutely loved it. Found real estate investing because I live right outside of Nashville, and Nashville is a hotbed of real estate investing activity. And so dove right into that. But what I realized as I began to build my own real estate investing business and surrounded myself with other people that were doing the same thing is accountability is so critical to us staying focused on our goals and making progress and moving that needle forward, even in micro increments. So we're headed towards the vision that we have of our future. And in the process, I discovered positive intelligence, and it changed my life. And I knew that I was going to be able to bring that to my clients and just add another wonderful tool to help them build their mental fitness, use more of their brain than any of us realize is even available to us. And it's been going fabulously.
Let's talk about accountability, because I was going to ask you what were some of those obstacles that you overcame throughout the journey? And if it led you to do an accountability group, maybe accountability is one of those barriers you had to overcome.
Well, accountability it can be a game changer for most of us because if you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, creative, we have so many amazing ideas and we have so much inspiration that we're led by. A lot of times we get distracted easily. We call it, squirrel. We have this term in the community about how easily we can think that okay, I'm setting this goal. And then we hear about this another great idea and we're like, oh, maybe I should go in this direction. But following through until the completion of one thing before I start a new thing is very difficult for most of us who are entrepreneurs. And I found myself having a life full of busyness because I was so interested in so many things, but wasn't getting traction in any one thing. And Brandon Turner he's from Bigger Pockets. I follow him and he's an inspiration for me about what's possible through real estate. And he was the first person that I started to listen to about accountability. And I basically took his model. I looked for groups and we didn't find one that was kind of resonated with me. And you know what they say, if you can't find it, create it yourself. And so that's what I did.
Love that. And I'm going to invite you to a whole different episode so that we can talk about all of the differences of accountability groups versus a mastermind and coaching and the different tools out there. that people can find when they're looking, for that push, for that support to keep them motivated in their journey. Today, I want you to now talk a little bit about what positive intelligence means.
So positive intelligence is like a continuation of our intellectual intelligence, our IQ, our emotional intelligence, our EQ. And then now we have this new framework called positive intelligence, which we call PQ. And Shirzad Shamin created this framework, and he is from Stanford and has done research in Stanford. And what he discovered through his research is that part of our brain lights up when we are controlled by these more negative thoughts that we have. And if any of you have dabbled in neuroscience or personal development, you understand that we have a reptilian brain. We are wired for protection and safety. And so our brain is always on the lookout for danger. And what that does in a world where we were hunter-gatherers is it kept us safe, right? It kept our tribe safe. Well, we don't live in that kind of world anymore. So those parts of our brain aren't as useful, but there's a whole other part of our brain, and we call it the sage brain. And because we spend more of our time in the saboteur region of our brain, we don't even realize what we could tap into from the sage perspective. And Shirzad has done this amazing job of creating a framework. And so positive intelligence unlocks parts of our brain and allows us to move through our work, our relationships with more ease and flow, with more intentionality. We see more success in our performance and in our well-being and in the quality of our relationships. And these are just micro exercises, and we call it mental fitness. It's kind of like your physical fitness. When you're trying to build muscle, you're building with, let's say, free weights. And with your mental fitness, we're going to do very similar rep with the micro exercises that weakens the saboteur region of your brain and helps shift you into your sage perspective. And I just guide people through understanding this and then help them implement it in their life.
Yes. So I was fortunate to go through the process of how you offer a free consultation with your clients. And I did the assessment, and it was very eye opening because you call them sabotagers, right?
Saboteurs.
Yeah, you got to get the terminology right. So with the saboteurs, right? It was right on with mine. And as I'm, connecting and reading these descriptions, I was also able, to kind of see how some of my positive traits also have these saboteurs. And then you had me go through an exercise that just in less than like 2 minutes took me from one state of mind to just releasing and being in another so that I could be in a different mindset when we move forward to talk about these saboteurs.
Yeah, we had such a great time. And your experience is very common. Most people, when they do the assessment, they're not shocked by the results of their saboteurs. But I want to just point out to people that our saboteurs are actually based on our talents and our gifts. So there's things that were given or that are placed in us when we're created. They're just used to an extent maybe beyond their usefulness to us, to a point where they start to impact us negatively. And so putting them in the right place so that they remain our gifts and talent, but then we tap into that sage brain. And what you experienced was an example of our PQ exercises, that 2-minute exercise that we did. And you're right, it does change our state of mind. And it gives us the ability to shift from a saboteur perspective, which most of us aren't even aware that we're there. We call it the self-command muscle. And, it's pivoting. It's helping our brain pivot. And then the whole sage perspective, we didn't even really tap into that much because there's some great exercises that I teach my clients and lead them through to help build that and strengthen that. But, it takes time and it takes repetitive practice and it takes support and community. So, because those saboteurs don't want to let go. They're used to driving bus.
This is fascinating. We're going to have to keep the discussion going and perhaps do a few episodes moving forward.
Sure.
So, what is your next milestone?
My next milestone is actually getting certified as a PQ coach. So I'm currently in the positive intelligence coach community and I'm coaching people, bringing clients through my 8-week program and then offering them one-on-one or group coaching. But I want that certification. I want that recognition from positive intelligence so that I can just share it with more people. My vision is to share this with more people. So I want to bring teenagers into this. I would love to have a group of youth going through a positive intelligence 8-week program because I really want to see how it impacts their lives. Women are the community that I most gravitate to, but I do work both with men and women. So getting that certification. And then I'm building my business. So just continuing to implement systems that are going to support me and being able to be more effective in bringing this to more people.
So, before we wrap up today's episode, what would be one key takeaway that you can leave our listeners so that they make they take a step or they make a move to improve their life? Is it through accountability or through positive intelligence? That's up to you.
I would encourage you to either find me and book a call so that we can do a free discovery call where I'm going to lead you through the results of your assessment. It's a 5 or 10-minute assessment. It's a 30-minute call. And just that awareness, it's been amazing the kind of breakthroughs that people have had in just that 30-minute call with me. Some people have been brought to a vulnerability in themselves that they don't often tap into. And it just begins to open up their eyes to their desires, maybe the things that are there to work on. And it begins to create a hunger for them for their personal development. So you could do that, or even just go to positiveintelligence.com and you can do the assessment yourself there, but you don't have me to explain it to you. So I can add a little bit more to your understanding. You can read the book.
So, where can they take the assessment through you?
You can go to my Instagram, Get Focused Accountability, and there's a link to my website, and then you can find how to book a discovery call with me there.
Also, leave it in the comments so that anyone listening to the episode can just click from there. So, share it with me. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. This has been wonderful, Sheila.
And I look forward to future episodes with you.
I love being part of the Milestone community, the 5 milestones.
Thank you to all our listeners for tuning in to another episode of Milestone Moments in Business and Leadership. Until next time.